I'm R.M. Brame Jr. I was born and raised right here in North Wilkesboro, and went to high school here. Graduated in 1922, and I worked in the retail drug business all my life with my father up until 1937, and I opened up a Red Cross Pharmacy around on 10th Street, and then we later moved to D Street. And I got married in 1930 to Nell Blair Gwen of North Wilkesboro, and we have 3 children, 1 daughter and 2 sons. One of the sons works with me now at the Red Cross Pharmacy, and well, I told you I graduated from high school in 22, and I went to the university for a short time in North Carolina. And I've been in the retail drug business all my life. And I own the Red Cross Pharmacy now. And one son is with me in the Red Cross Pharmacy, and I have a daughter that lives in Winston-Salem, and my other son lives here in North Wilkesboro, and my wife's living from Thankful today, and just trying to think.
You know, I read this book by Pat Davis that Memories Unraveled she did in 1990, and we're doing a videotape on using this book in the videotape, and there's a lot of interesting stories that goes on back in the years with the businessmen of North Wilkesboro. Some of the hardware stores and the drug stores and all that kind of thing. Can you tell us something about some of the pranks or the crazy things that went on back in those years?
Well, let's see. When I opened up around on 10th Street, it was in a building right next to Hayes Hardware, which was run by and owned by Burl Hayes. He's dead now. He's quite a character, good friend. And 10th Street was, well, especially on Saturdays, they just truckloads of people come in from all over the country and different counties and stay all day till midnight Saturday night. And they'd go to picture show, and they was up and down 10th Street until midnight, and very peaceful though. And, I can't think of too much that went on. Everything was very peaceful.
What year did you open the drugstore up on 10th Street?
1937.
1937? Was the downtown streets paved by then?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
So they were paved in about 17 or 18. Right after the 1916 flood.
Well, tell us about I hear a whole lot about the 1940 flood, but I've heard very little about the 1916 flood.
I believe it was worse than the 1940 flood. And you could see occasionally a hack of lumber floating down in the main stream where the Reddies came into the Yadkin. And and the water got up just about where the depot is now, right there where the steps are from the sidewalk goes out. The water was up about a foot deep there, and it was right much of a flood. And but other than that, I think it up in possibly Watauga County, maybe some people got washed away and got killed, several. And other than that, several days of getting back to normal.
Well, you know, today we get warnings from the weather forecast and the radio and TV and all that kind of stuff. But back then, you just didn't know about it till it happened.
You might have got a rain warning. I mean, they just say it's going to rain for tomorrow. But other than that, that is all. And but it rained for several days straight back there. It rained hard. That's about all I remember about it. I remember walking down to the depot and the water was about a foot deep right there where the sidewalk steps goes down to the depot.
But getting back to 10th Street and Burl Hayes, I know everybody in town has heard the story about the stovepipe.
Yeah.
And about his cattle and all this kind of stuff. Other than the man's sense of humor, what's one of the big things that stands out with you by knowing and working beside of him and all these years?
Well, he's a very friendly to get along with. And he's kind of funny. I can't remember. Let's see, he had owned the Clements house down in the lower end of town. And his wife died and he married again. But I don't remember just who it was he married. And he he bought the Clements house, J.L. Clements house, on 6th Street. I think he went in the feed business. I believe it was Purina feed he handled. He's an agent for it. And he kept an animal back in his hardware store there. A cow. And I know this secretary of mine said something about that old cow over there. And I asked Burl how long you going to keep that cow. I said, my secretary don't especially like it. And I don't care how she likes it or not. I said, I sell the feed and something to that effect. But other than that, Burl's awful easy to get along with. Let's see here. Amy Anderson run Amy's place, Cafe. right next to Dick Catcher on the filling station on the corner there. And then Tal Pearson and Ron Pearson were on, they were wholesale, grocery, and retail too. And of course F.T. Forrester was wholesale groceries. And of course Mike Smithy out at the Goodwill. And then E. Eller was on the corner of D Street and 10th Street. And chicken killing, and he killed chickens and dressed them and shipped them to Baltimore in barrels. And he ran that for a good many years. Till he died, I guess it was. And Seymour and Hamp Pearson had a retail grocery store there also, beside the Towels, and Everett Pearson was there too. Then American Furniture put up down there just about 1934, 35, 36, somewhere in there. And they operated worked several hundred men there for a good long while. I don't know how many they work now, but that's owned by Ladd out there, Ladd Furniture Company. And it wasn't as far as I forget who it was that owned American Drew that owned furniture factory right across from Tom Forster's place. I forget what the name of that was, but they did a big business, I think. American did a big business till they sold out to Ladd, and they still do a big business. And
Well, what do you think about Norfolk where it seems to be kind of drying up as far as store buildings downtown and all this kind of stuff?
It seemed to be kind of moving out, and I don't know why up until the last few years, is always busy on Main Street, and especially on Saturday nights and Saturdays. I know you could come downtown at 8 o'clock on Saturday night and walk either way, say as far as east as where Blair's store used to be, Blair's grocery store, and as far as Furniture Company. And then all the way back to where Main Street ended. And truckloads of people would come to town, and they'd mull up and down the street till midnight Saturday nights, go home. And I mean, it's very peaceful for that matter. They'd go to the picture show and get out about 9 or 10 o'clock, and they'd walk up and down the street till they all got ready to go home, and truckloads of them.